Okay.
I promise to do everything in my power to protect this city.
I promise.
That's it?
That oath a real thing.
Totally. Definitely didn't just make it up.
Welcome to Video Essay, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas. This video we look into Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, a game that takes everything I love about Miles and Spider-Man and removes all I hated about the first game. Miles Morales swung into everyone's hearts when the Spider-Verse movie came out, and I think it reached even further audience when this game launched. A true upgrade from the last. Well, at least in some regards. This game is a great spin-off from the first, though there is good reason to point out that this game was made for the sole purpose of making a boatload of money, and not for the good of the story. With the game being shorter, having fewer enemy types, skins, and even moves, all for the price of $70. And while the game looks great, sounds great, and has such an amazing story, it lacks content that would be there otherwise if it wasn't made for the sole purpose of keeping hype and their pockets full. Either way, let's swing our way into the story, and web strike our way to victory. Miles Morales is your average dude, except he is Spider-Man, the second one. And here is his story. Miles has been training under Peter, learning everything he can about being a Spidey superhero. Peter and Miles are set to look after a prison delivery of our favorite Russian rhino, and Miles accidentally lets him go. After an intense fight with shopping malls, a bald Anchor Man, and a fight with a big man, Peter is about to be killed. But with the power of Venom, God, that name kinda sucks, we defeat Rhino before he can cause any more harm, and we leave him in the custody of Simon Krieger and his company Roxxon, our white rich dude villain, but shh, we shouldn't know that yet. The Underground is not on board with this company, and so they take the reasonable actions of breaking and entering, killing and stealing, as you do. And after a bit of a fight, and by that I mean beating their asses, we head back to our house to celebrate Christmas with our family. Have a great Christmas, everyone. Genki, our homie here, makes us an app that can let us fight crime, something I think is such a great addition to the game, and honestly, I hope they both use this in the next one. Anyways, our first customer is our Uncle Aaron, and we need to help him fix some trains after the Underground are doing some stuff underground. But there is a catch. Aaron knows it's us. And if you watch the Spider-Man movie, you know that Aaron is the Prowler. So that's a bit of a head scratcher. We are attending our mother's protests, and she really hates the neon sign when a bunch of the Underground and Roxxon soldiers start fighting. Anyways, Miles exploded a bridge and had to help people. What is it up with Spider-Man and bridges? We find out that Finn is the Tinkerer. What a shocker. No, not that dude. She wants to avenge this nerd Rick Mason, who died into the hands of the white villain number 45 and his company. With the help of his uncle, who I love, we find out that Finn is kinda dumb and wants to explode the generator, killing like all of New York. He somewhat joins the Underground to obtain some information on the group, but has to tell Finn who he is, a man-spider, and their friendship just kinda tanks and is ruined at that point. Rhino is back, baby, and now with Red, and he ain't taking no shit no mo. Although, after being kidnapped, they kinda just leave again, like every hero in every game, and Miles finds out that Uncle Aaron is a villain after all, and is telling information to white villain number 86 to most likely keep us safe. So much for that. Finn almost kills Rhino, who almost killed Spider-Man, who is also beefed up right now. So how powerful is this bitch? Well, who knows, because the game doesn't. She ends up beating us in a fight, and all I can think about is that this is another Silver Sable problem, where the power balance flies out the window for like certain characters. Either way, we have an important scene where Rio, no, not the location, has to learn our face. So now like literally everyone knows who we are, which is great. I love that about Spider-Man, and Batman, and Superman, etc. But this scene is great. The Prowler ain't too happy with Miles almost dying and tries to stop him since he can't die like his father, and we beat him. Wait, we just lost to Finn. So if Finn beat Rhino and Spider-Man can't beat Rhino, then we can't beat Rhino, but we beat Rhino, so that means we can beat Prowler. But Finn beats us, so that means that Finn can beat the Prowler, Spider-Man, Miles, and Jesus himself. Weird. Anyways, we say to Uncle Aaron that we need to protect the people of Harlem, and so we leave him there, underground. Not that underground. And now we enter the final few hours of the game. The new form reactor is going to explode thanks to how stupid Finn is, and so we have to fight, with us absorbing the power, essentially killing us slowly. But Finn, maybe realizing just how dumb she is, saves Miles and sacrifices herself to save him. But like dropping him, and these two scenes are really good.
Miles! Oh, God! Say something!
But like, damn, can we stop showing our face to random ass people? Geez, game, this isn't a fairy tale. One of these bastards would tell their friends. Either way, new form is taken down thanks to just how dangerous this shit was, and everything is right in the snowy filled world. Finn is dead, we have a sick suit, and Spider-Man is back. Oh, and we aren't dead. And that's where the game ends, with Harry coming out of stasis, ready for the second game to get that money. And that's the story of Miles Morales, and I gotta say, it's damn good. Really damn good. But also really damn short. So let's get this elephant out of this room. The story is only a total of 7 hours long, and that's why it feels more of like an expansion than that of a real sequel. And that's one of the very few reasons the game is not as good as the first and doesn't exceed the limitations. The game feels like a ripoff, and was the main reason I waited until the last second to buy it. A full-priced game for half the content is not worth it for the common consumer. There are only 7 hours of the main story, but what about the side content and collectibles? Well, they're very similar to the last game, with a ton of items hidden throughout the playable area. And this city is so amazing, you may have to spend some hours finding hidden items to find your platinum trophy. You can collect time capsules, which are essentially just backpacks, and you have different activities like collecting sounds, postcards, and bases. And you can stop crimes, just like the last one. But there is a difference between the two. There are less gangs and factions in this game that tends to be the reason for the less crime, although they added a phone that allows you to tell crimes and missions, and I really like this feature. So you can spend hours of your life doing these activities, or just move on to another game like a sane person. I think the time capsules make more sense than the backpacks, and they work more. But there are a couple of things that are kind of annoying, like the challenges that are locked behind these Spiderman holograms. It's really annoying that there are locked stuff like this, like launch points behind a stupid challenge on the map. I would have liked to use these just through the game, since they are normal parts of the first one, and it's like losing the ability to use your legs. And trust me, I know how that feels. Now, I saved the best thing for last, and that thing? This cat! Oh my god, it's cute, innovative, look at that cat model. Oh yeah, the music's good, I guess. The songs are clearly the best the series will ever see. The oozing swagger of a black teen leads into the music with hip-hop and beats. And this is a great take on the soundtrack and changes the views on the characters and gives definition to Miles. The soundtrack, which I'm using for the background I'm sure, is so damn good and remixes beats to present a modern feel to the game. The theme of Christmas and winter is so damn good and falls in line with the Spider-Verse movies, and I really enjoy exploring the ice and snow-filled city of New York, a place known for its winter aesthetic. And this is where I really enjoyed the game. Swinging has always been cathartic and thrilling times in Spider-Man games, and this game is no different. Other than that, I think the open world and challenges and collectibles are all really good, and they're less tedious. But there are a few things that I wish were better in the story, and I want to mention those two things here. The game is really short, and doesn't feel like a real sequel, but I don't think it's trying to do that. Well, I mean, that's true, due to the fact that the second game is coming out real soon, and the other aspect I don't really enjoy was the main villains. Well, one main villain. Now, I mentioned in the last video that there were way too many villains from the gallery in the last game, and it made the game a little cluttered. And that problem is gone. And now we have like 4 villains, and that's good. But are the villains a little bad? Maybe. Yes? No? I don't know anymore. Rhino is a cool intro villain, but why did he come back? He should have ended there to make room for the others. The Prowler's motives are just ignorant, trying to save Miles while letting him, Miles, and everyone around him die. That's what we call useful. And Finn just feels off, like she has bad motives and yet changes in the end for the good and saves us, someone she left years ago. And so we have to fight this bitch, and I don't really like her as a villain, a friend, a hero, a person, or a human being. The main villain, white guy number 456, is somewhat... How do I put this? He's just another white guy villain number 457. Whereas Spider-Man had Octavius, our friend who he helped, then had to defeat and leave. But either way, this story makes up for it with the city, the characters, good, and gameplay. And with that great segue, the main gameplay of these Spider-Man games will most likely stay the same, as they don't really need to change. The game has the same basic mechanics as the Arkham games, and they're basically the successor to them. The game takes the very misplaced genre of superhero games and coddles it to best fit your experience, and this game follows the footsteps of its predecessor. So just like the last title, you have your basic attacks, punching and kicking included. You can web strike or throw opponents, you can launch them in the air, or choose to web kick to launch them flying. This game differs in the counter combat, which seems to be slowly fading in today's games. Instead of being able to simply counter any attack coming in, you'll need to dodge and punch back. And sometimes this can get a little jank, and I'm not gonna lie, I really wish the games would have just had counter combat. It's a bit more fun. You no longer have the ability to use your ultimate during combat. I think it's actually a really good change. In the first game you could finish a crime in a few seconds thanks to moves like Web Blossom, but here you're gonna have to work for your takedowns. The intrinsic meter is now gone, and the skill tree and upgrades have been redone. You can still do takedowns and they will occasionally be ready to use, and you can still heal, but it's now placed somewhere else. Venom is the ability you obtain later in the story, and it now is your ability to heal, and attack, and combo. And that's a bit of a problem for the way the game wants you to play. Venom can break your guards and send enemies flying, but it doesn't build up fast enough to allow you to do it all. Sure, you can punch every once in a while and you can build it up, but if you want a combo, which you can, it would take a long time of you not using it and enough for it to build up to it. So you tend to just use one of these at a time. And if you want to heal, that uses the electricity more. The electricity ability has a terrible name, but it has a really cool part of the game, and it's another part of what separates this game from the first. And you start to see how basic Spider-Man was in the first. He really was just a strong man, and Miles has powers. Miles can of course do another ability that really differentiates this character from the other Spider-Man in New York. Miles can turn invisible and can get out of situations, sneak around, and take down anyone unknowing. And this ability has a short cooldown before uses. I really like these abilities and features. They bring life to the game that would be dead without the exclusive features. And those features are perfectly done, balanced, and tested. The game has a few gadgets, just like the first, that diversify the gameplay, but I'm sorry to say this, the game has half the amount of the first. You have the basic webs, used to tie up your enemies and pin them to the ground. You can shoot mines and explode them and use it to stun. You can use these gravity bombs to suck everyone down, or holograms to attack. These abilities are interesting, but they are a huge letdown from the first. The webs are boring and basic, the same as usual. The gravity grenade is just the same as the other, but worse. It sucks everyone together, but unlike the anti-gravity grenade, that seems to be less useful. The holograms are boring and only serve to clutter the arena. And the mines? Well, actually, those aren't bad. If anything, they could do a bit more. You can also grab guns and throw them back, and this can be upgraded to shock enemies. Although other than those things I mentioned, the gameplay is simple, and that's what's nice about the game. It's a simple game for simple people to have simple fun, and that's no better showcase than in the open world. Once again, New York is yours to explore, and this time it's winter. Swinging feels great and is the pinnacle of what Spider-Man games can be. The world is so damn good, and everything is made in such high detail. The buildings and the windows now have rooms that actually make sense. There's more to do and more to see. This game has activities happening all around you. The populated streets are such an impressive feat. This game's open world is one of the very few that I enjoy, and it's such an achievement that other games are going to try to achieve, and no doubt miss. The game's mechanics are no doubt fantastic and continue to showcase what a dedicated team can accomplish when they know what they're doing, and these games are going to be a big problem for other hero games, as we've seen with Gotham Knights and Marvel Avengers. I can't wait to see what the second game has in store with its gadgets, web swing, and thrilling combat. Without a doubt, the best music in a game I have ever encountered. And with the amount of story, gameplay, and city elements, the game makes a mark in the Spider-Man series, and the gameplay series in general. But is it better than the first? A comparison I keep making, since that game is longer, bigger, and probably better. And you most likely notice the countless remarks I make to the game. It's not that the game can't be longer, but many wanted to continue the story of the first game, and that wasn't really the outcome we had in this game, but it definitely sets up the next game. So with its amazing sound, gameplay, and story, I'm happy to give Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales an 86, meaning this game is there with the top dogs, and also means that it's slightly lower than the first, which makes sense. The game, while having better music and new abilities, also took a lot from the game and created a simple but fun experience. But these two games are extremely good, and I'm happy to see and happy to have experienced them. And that's the review, and that might be the last video of the year. Maybe. I might be elite soon. Elite? Get it? Happy holidays, and have an amazing Christmas Eve and an amazing Christmas. I hope you're having a great time with family. I am currently at a funeral at the time of watching this, so in a way I'm having time with family, just not a good time. I love you all. Stay intelligent, or I won't love you anymore.
Like I was born for this minute, this is my time.